Okay, so I'm going to be making the leaves in this yard completely disappear without using a rake. Sit back and enjoy. So I'm starting off with the blower. I'm blowing the leaves to the driveway, as you can see. And then I'm going to use the vacuum feature of this blower to vacuum the leaves up. Now, you might be wondering, why don't you just vacuum the leaves right there from the grass? Why do you have to blow it onto the driveway? Well, that's because it actually works better on the hard surface than it does in the grass. So by blowing them to the surface, I actually end up saving more time than trying to vacuum the leaves up from the grass. So you're going to see me right there switch hands while doing this, because even though that handheld blower doesn't weigh that much, when you do this for an extended period of time, you can get fatigued. So I have to keep switching hands. Now that brings me to another question that you might be asking. So why don't you just use a backpack blower? They have more power, and then the weight is on your back and not in your arms. Well, I just found out the other day that they don't make a backpack blower that has the shredder feature, which is the vacuum feature, to do this. So instead of investing in two pieces of equipment, I'm just going to get a good workout, and I'll make sure I balance it out by changing hands throughout the process. I had to keep blowing the leaves up the hill instead of just directly to the driveway, and that's because the wind was blowing, not hard, but it was a steady gust of wind blowing. So had I just blown it straight towards the driveway, all the leaves would have blown out into the road and across the street to the neighbor's house. And I've had this guy come out before and accused me of blowing clippings into his yard. So this took me a little bit longer than it normally would have for that one fact, the wind. more than 7 minutes into the video. If you made it this far, then you're a trooper. We're almost to the point where I'm going to be switching out to the vacuum feature. But I just wanted to ask you, since you made it this far, have you done this before? What are better ways of doing this? If you have any suggestions, just leave them down in the comments. I do actually read my comments, and I respond to most of them, if not all of them. Alright, so I am now going to detach the blower hose and then attach the leaf bag or the leaf catcher. That way I can start to vacuum up these leaves. This thing uses a flathead screw, and it's kind of annoying to me because it slides, the screwdriver slides out very easily. I wish they would have used at least a Phillips head, but anyway, it works. So right in there, that's the shredder, that little spinny wheel thing right inside of the machine where I'm putting the hose attachment to it. You know, I was worried about getting sticks and thicker pieces of mulch in there and thinking it was going to damage it, but you know, it handled it pretty well, and you can hear it just crunching and grinding and shredding those things up. So I'm actually very impressed. I actually got this. There's a guy, a mechanic that I use sometimes, and he sold this thing to me for $100. He said he couldn't, and it wasn't working quite well. So I let it sit. It sat in my garage for about a year, and then all of a sudden, whatever problems, starting issues it had, they just vanished. I don't know, something about letting your equipment sit on the shelf for a while and give it, you know, maybe it just needs a rest or a break. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, but it works fine now. We'll see how long that lasts. One thing that I was concerned about when I was doing this was how quickly the bag was going to fill up with leaves, and I thought, man, am I going to have to keep starting and stopping and emptying out that bag? Well, during this pile of leaves, it only took me, I emptied the bag 3 times, and I didn't really have to do that. It could have held more than that, so I was very impressed. And that just shows you how much that shredder is actually shredding. So it's not just sucking the leaves up, it's shredding the leaves. And then a large pile of leaves can fit into a smaller bag. So if I was going to actually have to bag these leaves up, I didn't this time because the lady just told me to put them in her dumpster. But if I actually had to bag the leaves, it would save on the amount of bags that would have been needed to hold those leaves. So that's another good thing about the shredding feature of this blower. I'm just really happy to do this, and I almost can't wait until the fall when leaves start falling again and I can get back out here and do this some more, because this is springtime over here where I am, over here in Texas. I know I've had people ask, well, where are you? I'm in Texas, homeboy. But anyway, yeah, in Texas, you know, Texas is littered with oak trees and cedar trees and all that, and so these leaves are all over. This is pretty much a year-round thing, actually, almost. So I might invest in a newer piece of equipment to do this. You could probably just start a business around here, just going around clearing out leaves in some of these areas with the oak tree canopies. And you could just do nothing but that if you wanted to, but I'll see how far this takes me. I had a lot of fun recording this video because I really liked to use the leaf shredder, as I heard it called. I call it a vacuum. That right there is a Husqvarna. It's the BV, which stands for blow vacuum, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like playing with this thing. It's more like a toy. You know, I've had this thing for a while and didn't really think to use it. And then that lady, the homeowner, after I got done cutting the grass and everything, is packing up, getting ready to leave. She comes out and said, "Hey, do you mind blowing all the leaves out of the yard?" You know, so then we renegotiated the price. Kind of set me behind schedule, but I got it done for her.